Alright, so here's my second enable instructional video, whatever you want to call it. This on my left is a DACK foot, something I made about 3 years ago. It's made out of a modified polyethylene plastic that's been CNC machined to kind of have some relief to it. A little bit thinner at the tip and tail, but it's a flat sheet. And then there's kind of a cork in there that's been shaped to kind of make this sort of side profile that you can see. Used cork because it had the right durometer, just stiff enough, but had some compliance and some give to it. And then it's been covered with kind of a special rock climbing rubber that's extra grippy to be able to grab onto the wall or the rock or indoor, outdoor, what have you. The shape was sort of developed with a lot of really good adaptive climbers. A couple of them are top 3 in the world at this point in time, 2 and 3. Anyways, so I'm very kind of I'm happy with this shape in general. The only thing I've done is sort of centered this back piece. I can kind of go in and explain that more later. But now, kind of onto the kind of new 3D printed one that I've been working with. I put up the files so you can kind of see them, but it uses a kind of a hard plastic, I think ABS, kind of inner part, and then there's a urethane kind of insert that's put on that gives that kind of compliance like what was given with the cork, and then the rock climbing rubber put on, and that rubber is now rolled over to the top and kind of use this top plate to screw down and secure it, because that was one of the problems with this foot, is that the rubber would peel off after months of use, and need to be re-glued. The biggest problem with this thing right now is that the actual holes underneath this top pyramid are not at the right dimension. It's supposed to be 2 inches, from center to center on the diagonal. It's just off, and I was able to kind of grind it away and sneak it and get this on. But this top pyramid is actually a very important piece for enablers to know about, because that is sort of the standard attachment for most prosthetic components. This kind of pyramid shape right here. So if you want to make any adaptive equipment attached to a conventional prosthetic, it should be able to meet up with this pyramid. So this is a 4-bolt one. I actually put some pictures on in a Google Drive of other different types, and I'll probably put on my post as well. But getting whatever adaptive equipment to meet up to this pyramid is very, very valuable. It just allows someone who's uses a blown knee prosthesis to be able to essentially just bolt on the adaptive foot and then take it right back off again. Some other problems with this design, or this sort of first prototype that was 3D printed, is that I want this top plate to kind of extend out to the very edge of the rubber. But the other thing is that it was not supposed to be larger. Somehow it got kind of increased, and I wonder if that has something to do with why the hole pattern's off. But the whole model is kind of bigger. I would like it to kind of be the same size as this, because I'm pretty comfortable with this size. There are some channels inside here that the urethane that has been 3D printed is supposed to meet up in, and the spacing, the channels in the ABS are too narrow for the urethane to push in, and we had to kind of go and grind out those channels so we could get those two things to meet. The other thing, I guess I'd like a bevel on the top of the curved plate here, so that this rubber can kind of roll around that bevel a little bit better. Right now it has a firm edge to it. Obviously I have more ideas as well, but I mean, the things that I've already mentioned would get this foot a lot closer to being usable, and it is very much my goal to, after we get something that's good and usable, take it down to Brooklyn, where there's an adaptive climbing group, and get them to test it out. So when that happens, I probably get in touch with some enablers in the New York City area, and you get to kind of see what happens firsthand. So anyways, this is a long video, but hopefully it'll help, and yeah, good working with you guys.